Taiwan Tzu Chi volunteers contribute their share in protecting our Mother Earth. We learn more about Azalea, a type of flower that comes in various colors and blooms in March. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. As people in Taiwan seize the 3-day Qingming Festival holiday to go on family outings, volunteers at Tzu Chi's recycling stations island-wide continue working around the clock and sorting recyclables. Knowing the importance of protecting the planet, recycling volunteer You Shufeng and her son, who suffered some developmental delays, seized the holiday to volunteer at the Tzu Chi Shizhi recycling station in New Taipei City. Meanwhile, in Taidong County, volunteers passed on environmental messages to local residents in Luye Township. Tzu Chi volunteers and senior residents dance and sing to a song about recycling. It's all part of the volunteers' visit to Taidong's Luye Township to promote the importance of recycling.
Practicing recycling should start within community. We are here today to promote this concept and hope that community residents can join in.
During the event, Tzu Chi volunteers also introduced Tzu Chi's eco-friendly blankets, which play an important role in the NGO's international relief efforts. Upon learning that the eco-blankets are made from recycled PET bottles, several residents promised to join the volunteers' ranks.
We never had an organization here before promoting recycling. Today, Tzu Chi volunteers came to promote recycling, and it was a great event. Starting from today, I will join their recycling efforts.
Thanks to the event, local residents have realized that it is everyone's duty to protect our planet and that change must begin within ourselves. Meanwhile, in New Taipei City, also contributing his share in safeguarding our planet is 19-year-old Yo-Yo, who suffers from congenital developmental delay.
Tzu Chi aunts and uncles always give Yo-Yo encouragement. They motivate him to keep on sorting recyclables.
Despite an increase in second-hand clothing collected during the Qingming Festival holiday, You Shufeng insists on sorting each piece with extra attentiveness. You says she has found a sense of belonging here at the recycling station.
Yo-Yo's mother has always been there. She has been taking care of him for the past 18 years. Volunteering at Tzu Chi's recycling station helps me forget my problems. Yo-Yo is very independent here and doesn't complain.
Instead of going on family outings during the 3-day holiday, You Shufeng and her son decided to volunteer at a recycling station, as they know that protecting our Mother Earth is something that cannot wait. In Australia, Tzu Chings and students from the Brisbane Tzu Chi Academy held a clean-up campus day, where through their actions they helped to promote environmental ideals to those around them. While in Zhanghua, Taiwan, one senior's health has improved since he started practicing recycling some 8 years ago.
Every day, Tai Chen-nan goes out to collect recyclables in his community.
As long as the items can be recycled, I will pick them up, even straws and cigarette packs.
Tai gets up every morning at 3 to collect recyclables.
365 days a year. I was out here on the first of the lunar year too. No, I quite enjoy doing this.
Tai's dedication to recycling has spread to his family and friends. His nephew, who is a security guard at a housing complex, also helps to collect recyclables from over 70 households.
My uncle says he wants to protect the planet, but the planet is very big. He can't do it alone, so I thought I'd help.
Tai's wife also pitches in. My husband's health gets better the more he does recycling. When he sweats, it helps his diabetes. Suffering from diabetes, high blood pressure, and cardiovascular disease, Tai's health has improved since he began collecting recyclables, thus proving happiness of the heart helps one's health. Meanwhile, in Australia, at the Brisbane Tzu Chi Academy, a lesson on environmental protection is being held outdoors. It is only upon a thorough search that students finally see all the garbage that litters the field that they play on. The students don't forget to sort each recyclable into its proper category.
Pick up rubbish 之后，学校有比较干净吗？
Yes, it's very clean. Among the rubbish, I found a pair of socks. Tzu Chi from Auckland University also held a cleanup campus event, in which 7 young overseas backpackers participated. Unfamiliar with what's recyclable and what's not, this cleanup event helps to promote environmental ideals to not only participants but bystanders as well. Through our event today, people will realize that we shouldn't litter and should place our trash in the proper bin.
Trash should be thrown away in its proper place. That way we can keep our campus clean.
Recycling should not be an activity only for the elderly, but a social responsibility for all citizens of the world.
In China's Guangdong province, Tzu Chi volunteers recently visited Dongguan's Huangjiang Experimental Elementary School to set up recycling stalls in hopes of teaching students the importance of recycling. Meanwhile, in the United States, students of Monrovia Tzu Chi Great Love Elementary School recently harvested the plants they have been growing. While at the Monrovia Tzu Chi Great Love Preschool, a police officer was there to teach students how to stay safe.
Look! Seeing the police officer's serious look, students are a bit nervous. The police officer tries to break the ice while also taking the chance to teach the children how to keep safe.
Do you see it? Yes. Do you guys touch those?
No!
The medicine looks like a candy. Do you take it?
No!
Later, the police officer explains her daily duties and introduces the children her police car. Meanwhile, at the Tzu Chi Great Love Elementary School, students are learning how to grow plants by watering, fertilizing, and even singing to their plants. Today, they are finally ready to harvest.
那个 tomato 是你 pick 的吗？好不好吃？
By growing these plants, they will gain a better understanding of this world and learn how to better safeguard our planet.
The teachers also teach the students how to make organic fertilizer. Through such hands-on experience, the environmental concepts can better take root. In China's Dongguan, Huangjiang Experimental Elementary School recently invited Tzu Chi volunteers to set up recycling education stalls at the school. After the completion of the recycling stalls, the school organizes an opening ceremony, with teachers and students coming together to celebrate.
The volunteers' recycling concepts are also useful for our teachers. Now that the recycling education stalls are set up, our students can truly learn what recycling is about.
It is important to teach our students recycling concepts when they are young. Furthermore, they can bring these messages back home to share with their parents and family members.
At each stall, Tzu Chi volunteers introduce various recycling concepts to students, many of whom have brought their recyclables from home to learn how to better sort recyclables.
In our daily life, most garbage is recyclable, like paper, cans, batteries, and other things. My family already knows that we can collect paper to exchange it for money, and we should eat less meat and more vegetables.
From now on, I will recycle used batteries and paper. I won't burn unrecycled paper anymore.
Through such hands-on experience, youngsters come to realize that small gestures can truly make a big difference.
In our continuing series to help our viewers get to know the land we live in, today we focus on Azalea. The species flower come in white, pink, and red and begin to bloom in March. They can be found just about anywhere from the flatlands up to the highlands. Here's more.
Taiwan, every March after the cherry blossom are over, azaleas take the center stage at the Yangmingshan Flower Festival. Flowers in various shades of white, pink, and red blanket the trails, giving the mountain a spring makeover. However, such beauty is not natural but man-made, as most of the azaleas on the mountains were grown by the Taipei Floricultural Experiment Center.
Back in the 50s to the 60s, plans were made to draw tourists to Yangmingshan, so they decided to take some azaleas from our center and plant them up on the mountains.
Azaleas are also known as the deliverer of spring. There are over 900 subspecies on the planet, and they can be found both at sea level and high altitudes. Taiwan has 20 indigenous subspecies of the plant, such as the mori, the pachycentum, and the pseudochrysanthemum. They may closely resemble each other, but their leaves distinguish them.
Here we have the Meriaceae subspecies. You won't see too many of these in Taiwan. The species only blooms after all of its leaves have withered and been regrown. What's unique about it is that it's very fragrant.
Though some azaleas are indigenous to the island, some such as the Kawakami have become nearly extinct due to the destruction of habitat during the construction of the Feitrate Dam.
These are grown by man. The species has smaller leaves and flowers and is thus nicknamed the willow azalea.
The most common azalea in Taiwan is the mucronatum. The subspecies was introduced to the island during the Japanese occupation and has since grown accustomed to the local climate. Nowadays, 90% of azalea seedlings come from Liugu Township in New Taipei City's Jinsan district. Known as the home of azalea, 6 million seedlings are sold here annually.
We grow azaleas by cutting the stems of seedlings and planting them in these nursery cells. Once they take root, we can remove them from the cells and plant them outside.
Mr. Yan inherited the family business from his father. For decades, he has studied how to better grow, protect, and care for the azalea. To make it easier for consumers to maintain the plant and ensure the plant's survival when replanted, Mr. Yan has made modifications to how his seedlings are grown.
We started growing azaleas in seedling pots 20 years ago, so landscapers or government contractors just have to buy these seedling pots and plant them right out of the pot.
The hardy plant can withstand drought and excessive moisture and helps battle noise and air pollution. It is truly useful.
On Taipei's Ren'ai Road and other main roads, we see mostly mucronatum because this subspecies blooms longer and is easier to maintain.
Azaleas have been chosen by the city of Taipei to be the city's flower. The beautiful plant has added a touch of color and grace to the bustling city, and as one stops to admire them, do not forget that spring is right around the corner.
A group of students from National Taiwan University was inspired by a course they took 2 years ago to form a group called DaAi, which aimed to promote agriculture education in the city. Originally, the students used the school's rooftop to grow their own vegetables. However, recently they have been able to spread the movement throughout their communities.
Up on a roof, a group of college students are being urban farmers for the day. Most of the time, we're just in class listening to lectures on agriculture, but we get very little opportunity to actually be in the fields and practice these methods.
It
isn't about growing the vegetables, it's about bringing life to things that haven't been done or haven't been seen before in the city.
No longer amateurs, a group of college students forming a team called DaAi now promotes agriculture education among city dwellers. If we use chemicals or pesticides to grow our crops, this will cause problems in the environment. What started out as a school project has now expanded into communities, where local residents are actively participating in. We are here to teach people how to grow their own vegetables and to reconnect them with their agricultural roots. We hope those who are interested in food safety, community interaction, and the problem of potential food shortages can join us.
也已经拔了好几次了。
太杂了吧？
Urban farmers happily introduce their vegetable gardens with the smiles on their faces, revealing the joy that comes with this labor of love. I come here almost every day. I'm quite attached to my vegetables.
我是住公寓2楼。
I live in an apartment building on a second floor. I never thought a rooftop could be transformed into a garden. I'd always wanted to purchase a small plot of land to farm, and now my wish has come true.
Turning a rooftop into a garden not only adds warmth to an otherwise cold concrete jungle, but also transforms the area into a public space that gives back to society.
Also in Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers and Central District Tima members recently conducted a free clinic in the remote villages of Miao County. The group also visited Tzu Chi care recipient Ms. Peng in Taichung's Dali district. Upon discovering that Ms. Peng suffers from scabies, a Tima doctor prescribed medication for her skin infection, while volunteers cleaned up her home.
Tzu Chi care recipient Ms. Peng suffers from scabies, causing an intense itch all over her body. After a checkup, Tima doctor Ji Bangjie prescribed her with some medication to ease her discomfort. Tzu Chi volunteers helped Ms. Peng apply an ointment that will treat her skin infection. Volunteers even brought a new mattress and gave the house a thorough cleaning, as well as washing all of Ms. Peng's clothes and bedding before hanging them in the sun.
Her husband is deceased and her 3 children don't stay at home, so when she is feeling depressed, she drinks. We prescribed some medication for her, and now she is feeling much better and happier.
The volunteers' support has helped Ms. Peng walk out of her darkness, and now she promises to quit drinking and one day join the volunteers' ranks. Together, Dr. Zhuo Xibing and his wife Yang Jingfeng have never missed an opportunity to serve at a free clinic over the last 6 years. Despite having to look after her newborn grandson starting last year, Yang has still managed to attend each and every clinic since then. I have been bringing him along since he is just 4 months. I don't feel that he is heavy because he's my grandson. We are used to coming here, and being able to give is our blessing. Another volunteer who finds immense joy in giving is Dr. Chen Zhenbang, who has been a part of Tzu Chi's free clinics for more than 10 years. Over the last decade, he never once thought of giving up, as he understands just how much medical care is needed in Taiwan's more remote areas.
At the onset, it would seem that we are benefiting others, but ultimately, it is really ourselves who have benefited and gained happiness.
Being able to safeguard the health and well-being of these villagers give these Tima doctors all the motivation they need to strive on.
In the latest effort to meet their goal of recruiting 1 million bodhisattvas, Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers visited the mostly Muslim Tanjung Bunga district to spread news of the campaign. Meanwhile, in Penang, one bank manager has been using his lunch break to recruit like-minded individuals.
After bank manager Zhen Zihong completes his morning work, he changes into his Tzu Chi uniform and drives 30 minutes to start his volunteer work, just in time for the lunch rush.
It's really just about taking action. Like we often say, being able to give is a blessing. If you have the ability, then take on more responsibility.
This is Penang's largest food court. Come lunchtime, hundreds of people dined here, which is why Tzu Chi volunteers are using this opportunity to recruit more people to join their Million Bodhisattva campaign. Their efforts are inspiring not only customers to donate, but shop owners as well.
I feel better going over to donate myself because I have the heart to do so.
We visited over 20-some tables, and only 1 table refused us, so everyone's full of compassion.
Also full of compassion are local residents in Tanjung Bunga. Although most are Muslims, they are still familiar with Tzu Chi, as the organization was the first to send relief supplies when a tsunami hit the area a decade ago.
I wasn't able to say my thanks before because I didn't see you guys, but now I'm at ease as I can finally give you my thanks.
I was closing my eyes. Then I said, I wanted to give money. I thought of giving out some lah. I said, never mind, later or tomorrow later I give $10 more.
Meanwhile, in Batu Pahat, a tea gathering successfully concluded where 50 volunteers accompanied 50 residents, thanks to the help and effort of all those involved.
It's not that easy. We had our own obstacles to conquer.
We made invitations and we went door to door inviting families to join us. Walking towards their goal one member at a time, Malaysia's Tzu Chi volunteers continue their efforts to recruit 1 million bodhisattvas.
China Tzu Chi volunteers in Fujian's Quanzhou and Guangdong's Puning recently visited local schools to distribute scholarships to impoverished students. Volunteers also took the opportunity to conduct home visitations and encourage these students to continue their good work and to never give up on their dreams.
On the way home, Tzu Chi volunteers encourage these students to keep an open mind despite their hardships, as only with an open mind do endless possibilities exist. Wu Meixue and her parents moved from Guizhou to Quanzhou to make a better life for themselves. In this small rented space they call home lies their hope for a better future. In a similar situation is Lin Jianwei. He and his mother live in this less than 7 meter square dorm.
When I saw people collecting scraps off the road, I used to look down on them. But when I look back on my actions, I realized that it was really wrong of me.
By cherishing all resources, what may seem like scrap can in fact be turned into a donation to help the needy. Realizing that their scholarships come from the accumulation of love of many, these students can now relate to their parents as they work to provide them with a better life. Chen Danmei, who lost her mother at a young age, swore never to cry in front of others and tries to put on a strong front. However, deeply moved by Tzu Chi's kindness, she can no longer hold back her tears.
We are so grateful that the Tzu Chi Foundation came to help us. One of these days, we will also give back to society, give back to our country, and help all those in need.
Over the years, many impoverished students of Puning No. 2 High School have been able to pursue their dreams and graduate. Volunteers hope that, with their skills and expertise, these students will be able to give back to society in the future.
We go back to Taiwan at the end of the show to encourage students to cherish resources. A charity sale was held at the Shixing Elementary School in Hsinchu City, in which many children donated their favorite toys and stationery to support the event. Tzu Chi volunteers also seized the chance to pass on environmental messages to these youngsters. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.